Hi, I'm Jay.
I'm G.
And we're going to read Crab Moon by Ruth Horowitz, illustrated by Kate Kiesler.
That's not a bird book.
Don't worry, we're going to learn more about this really super cool animal and its relationship to birds in the next book that we read, which is all about red knots. So make sure that you watch that one. Okay.
The summer Daniel turned 7. His family rented a cottage at the beach. They arrived on the weekend of the full moon. The full moon in June brings the high tide of the horseshoe crabs, said his mother. I saw them laying their eggs on this beach when I was your age. Does it still happen? Daniel asked. Every summer, his mother answered. Horseshoe crabs have been coming ashore for hundreds of millions of years. They're older than the dinosaurs. Can I see them? Daniel asked. You'll have to get up in the middle of the night. I'll come and wake you, she promised.
That night, the fat, round face of the full moon waved on the surface of the water. The path felt cool under Daniel's feet. As the beam of their flashlight swept the beach, he drew a sharp breath. Everywhere
they looked, horseshoe crabs crowded and pushed like restless cobblestones. Under the sandy shuffle of the surf, he could hear the clack of the crabs' shielded backs bumping and scraping together. Near Daniel's feet, a large crab dug in the sand. That's a female, his mother said. The smallest crab on her back is a male. She laid her eggs in that hole, and now she's pulling him across so he can fertilize them. They watched as the female crab swung herself around. Still carrying her mate, she made her way back to the water. Little by little, the tide receded. The crabs returned to the sea. Daniel's feet sank into the sand as he and his mother climbed back up to bed. In the morning, Daniel raced back to the beach. The tide was low now. The crabs were gone. Curly black seaweed was strewn across the sand like streamers left over from a party. Then Daniel saw one last lonely crab marooned upside down. She looked dead and dry. He found a piece of driftwood and gently nudged her. One leg moved. The other crabs had scratched their tracks in the sand where they had swung themselves around and gone home. How could this crab follow unless someone turned her over? Daniel reached out one nervous finger. The tail felt stiff, but not sharp. He carefully lifted the crab. As her body left the ground, her claws started to snap. Daniel put her down fast. Then he took a deep breath and reached for her again. This time, he quickly turned the crab over and gently set her down. And Daniel grinned. Barnacles and slipper shells covered the crab's back like jewels on a crown. She sat down off the beach, pausing and pulling her shell through the sand, quiet as a queen. Slowly and grandly, the crab pulled herself forward. Stepping and pausing, Daniel's feet felt their way into the bay. He followed until she disappeared. Then he gave the water one last long look and whispered to his horseshoe crab, "See you next summer." The end.